Hi guys, it's Sean here at the Savvy Money Show. Hope you're all being savvy with your money because there's so much volatility in the stock market today. If you enjoy any of the entertainment in today's program, please hit that lovely like button. If you haven't subscribed already, why not? Please smash that lovely subscribe button and hit that bell notification. You'll be notified whenever a new video comes out. Now, on with today's video. Vtiq, the ticker symbol, or as we know it, Vector IQ Acquisition Call, or as we know it, the company that's going to take over Nikola and take on Tesla. Now, we have done some digging. I've done some videos on this. We contacted the company. They've said the batteries could be upgraded because we said, what if Tesla comes out with a longer range truck? And they said, well, you can put 2 extra cells in the battery. Okay, so we said, so why don't you put the 2 extra cells in the battery? They said the technology isn't there yet. And okay, that's a valid answer. We assumed, because when looking through the proposal, there was a $2.2 billion shortfall, which we assumed would be made up by debt, because they showed how many shares would be bought up and provided by Vtiq and how many would be bought up by private investors, and there was a $2.2 billion shortfall, and I assumed that would be debt that they would incur to push it on, or shareholders would be diluted. It turns out that would be more shares, so they're going full force with it. So they're going to shoot 52.5 million shares at $10 a share to private investors. They're going to issue over 400 million shares to Nikola, and then they're going to offer sell a lot more shares as well. Now, I said how I bought some shares, and I did, and I would keep them in my account. Now, let me see. And I there you are. It's the thing is, I said my worries before. There were with my worries before were sorry about that. My worries before were along the lines of, they've created a shell company that was purely for the basis of taking over Nikola. It hasn't done anything in the last 2 years, and why not just IPO Nikola when it's ready? And it seemed to me like it was so the SEC and all the people buying up wouldn't look into the financials or the background of the people. Now, I have looked into the financials of Nikola, and I've done a deep dive into the company, and I've done a deep dive into the agreement. And I wish I'd done it before I bought these shares, because it's not good news. It seems they've only actually created one truck in all the time. they was at the same period 2 years ago. They've designed more things, but they've only actually created one truck. That's fine. They've got all these pre-orders, which could bring in $10 billion. However, if you go on their site, you could arrange pre-orders. And the problem with that is it's easy to make a pre-order on their site. They don't ask for too much. Sorry about this. Whereas with Tesla, they ask for a lot of information and they ask for a high deposit up front. Now, with Tesla, this is the reason they ask for a high deposit up front, that they have a 75% buy rate for their pre-orders. I don't think these guys are going to get 75% take up on their pre-orders. If their calculations are correct, they'll get $3 billion when they first start rolling out the trucks. And I have no reason to doubt that. The problem with the deep dive was I found out something we all didn't want to find out. This company, the acquisition company, we thought was going to take over all of Nikola. Now we know the reason why Nikola didn't just IPO, and the reason why this was set up to take it over. It states in, let's see if I can pick it up. Sorry about this. This is all on the fly. So, going to see if I can just. Sorry, I had a green day today. Oh no, I didn't catch it. Sorry. I'll try and be better prepared next time. Yeah, they had a green day. I had a green day on some of my stocks, and basically, what it means is, if you look into the agreement between Vtiq and Nikola, basically it states that 77.1% of shares will be retained by Nikola shareholders, which means 22.9% of shares will be sold to Vtiq. Now, when you take into account the market cap, the amount they're expected to get if they get the same as Tesla do, which is 75%, and they you go by their share price, you put that all together, and their share price at between $25 and $28 a share is more expensive than Tesla's is when you break it down. So for those $25 or those $28, when it was $28, you're better off buying a fractional share of Tesla. Now, I understand people are thinking, could have bought Tesla when it was $50 a share. Missed out, don't want to miss out on this. But you're not getting 100% of the company as you are with Tesla. That's why, if you want someone who's going to challenge Tesla, now, in order to do this video, I sold all my shares in this company. I have it on my books, but just before I posted the video, I've sold all my shares in this company, just so that doesn't seem like I'm pushing this company, because I know I've mentioned them a few times. You have NIO. As I said, they were $12 share with their IPO. They're now $3 to $4 a share. Look at this. How many license plates were registered from the SUV in China compared to Tesla? You know, the first is NIO, the second Tesla, the third is NIO. I mean, the other thing is people going on about Alibaba, a subsidiary of Alibaba, who I've mentioned before, and I don't mention anymore because of what they've done. Basically, Tesla in legal action with them over Alibaba stealing their secrets and using it for autonomous driving and using it in their autonomous car. NIO hasn't done any of that. They've done it off their own back, which is why they're in such debt, which is why their share price is so low. But at the same time, it means they have already set up a superhighway. When I first looked into Vtiq, I thought to myself, they're doing something difficult, but they're not going to be the first one to do it. Tesla has given them the blueprint for the superhighway. They've announced they've got to do the superhighway. They're not going into it blind. I checked with a lot of things out. I checked with the Hydrogen Council, and they said in the next 10 years hydrogen will come down to a price comparable to diesel. And I thought, okay, that's good, that some of these things work out. But so it's not like I've just googled all this information. I have done a lot of legwork for this. I do with all my videos, even if it doesn't look like it. As I said, while there's so much fluctuation in the market, I try to get these videos out as quick as possible so I don't waste time editing them. Now, once things settle down, I will edit them and make them a bit crisper, a bit better looking. Now, the other thing is, if you want someone who's going to challenge Tesla, you want a cheap electric car company, you want a cheap software company that mirrors Tesla, I think, well, my opinion, remember I'm just some idiot on the internet, is NIO's the one to go for. At the moment, they're only in China. That's the reason why. But Tesla's losing market share in China, and remember, they have cut the cost of their vehicles so that their vehicles can qualify for the EV grant. NIO hasn't had to do that, and they've increased their market share, and they're increasing all the time. Now, this Nikola Vtiq, but remember, they've announced it via the CEO's Twitter page. They've done all their promotion via TikTok, and then once it grew enough via TikTok, they've gone via YouTube. Now, no offense, but that is really pitiful. I've got no problem with a startup using YouTube as long as they're doing it in comparison with other things. You know, YouTube is an important way to get information out there, but please, and I'm going to lose money on my shares, but I don't want, as I said before, don't put a lot of money into it. Please do not waste a lot of money, more than you can afford to lose. I said after my last video that to put any more in, I'd want it to come back down to $10-12, because that's what the merger price is going to be for the institutions. But No, even at that price, I'm not going to put any more in, because I'm not there to buy 22% of a company that may or may not make it. I'm better off putting those $10 into 3 shares of NEO, who actually have a product out there. Not just one product, but multiple products. And have actually got technology that Elon Musk couldn't perfect. The battery swapping technology. Now, and to me, they seem like a prime takeover target. If not for Tesla, then for one of the many car companies that haven't set up an electric car program. You have Ford, you have General Motors could go in there and think, we're dying here, you know, we've got money on our books. What can we do to make sure we're not going to become a fossil? You know, the kind of fossil that goes into the engines of our car. And this could be it. Or one of the German companies that pay Tesla for the EV subsidies. I just think if you want a cheap Tesla, they're the one horse to bet. But don't, you know, as I said, do your own research. I'm just giving you information, do your own research. People were laughing at me when I put 50 quid in Aurora Cannabis. Today it doubled. I hope you guys listened to me when I told you last week to go into Stitch Fix. Well, I didn't tell you to go into Stitch Fix. I just told you there was insider buying in Stitch Fix. Today, it's just been announced a few minutes ago that there's been massive buying in Stitch Fix. Anyway, don't forget to hit that likes and subscribe button. If you lasted till now, you've got great stamina. I'll see you in the next video.